Holy cow. Holy cow, they did everything! The man actually did it. Alright, I didn't really expect this today. And to elaborate, I did know that Markiplier was currently in production on his first ever feature film. And I also knew that from a recent livestream that he did say that a teaser trailer for it would come out in the following weeks. But this is too early, man. I did not expect this. Maybe a couple of other people expected this to be a little earlier. Regardless, I'm super proud of him for making this film. He did say that this one would be a bit surprising, that fans would really enjoy it, and it's actually coming out in theaters. It's insane. So we're here today to watch the teaser trailer for his film, and the title interests me greatly. And if a lot of you know what this title is probably in reference to, then you're probably just as surprised as me. And the title is Iron Lung. If you're unaware of the Iron Lung that most of us already know of, it's a game that came out quite recently that is an atmospheric horror that takes place on a desolate moon in a blood ocean, where your character has to go around in a submarine and try to locate different landmarks under the ocean. It's a very weird concept. The main thing about it that really sells it is the atmosphere, just being in the submarine and all the metal around you, just those types of sounds, if you get what I mean. I'll probably try to put a clip up here of what it sounds like. But if this is not related to that game at all, I'm probably just chatting out my bum, but I am so excited to get into this trailer. Also, as you can see, I'm getting out the quality headphones so I can have some pristine audio. Yeah, let's just jump into it. Alright, here we go. It is! Okay, so this is what we see in the game. This is the submarine.
Cruising depth in roughly 40 seconds. Stand by.
This is the opening audio we hear from the game. What is going on with this tilt?
I'm seeing some voltage irregularities in the instruments, so keep an eye out for sparks or flames or anything like that.
What could this mean?
Approaching maximum depth.
The game is pretty small, so I don't know how much... Wait.
The whole feeling it, but it's still...
They didn't recreate the actual set, did they?
Closing toward hull shielding.
Holy cow. Holy cow, they did everything!
We're starting to lose radio signal.
That is amazing.
You'll be at cruise depth soon, so resisting and beat full.
Holy cow. Iron Lung. The man actually did it. What? That is insane. What? That's it? That's it? A minute and 14? We don't get any more? Holy cow. We have so much to unpack there. Well, not really so much, but I mean, that's a lot to process. It's like, it's so short, but then there's a lot to unpack because he's literally adapted the story from the game. He's recreated the entire set from like the actual game, as you can see here. These are PS1, PS2 kind of graphics, but then if you look at the actual set they rebuilt here, it's like a one-to-one. This is incredible. That does pique my interest though. I do remember, because I am a listener to Distractable, which is Mark's podcast with his two friends, Bob and Wade. In a past episode, they did talk about his production, and there's a part where he said that he was doing like a type of stunt where he had to be thrown about or maybe hit something, I'm not sure. If you know the game, and I'll probably put some graphics up here to kind of support what I'm saying, you don't do much in the game. It's just piloting around this tiny little metal submarine in this ocean. You don't really see the outside other than pressing a button and then seeing some images of the outside. What depth can you get from the story with this? Depends on if he's building any more backstory to the character that's been put in the submarine, because I believe the lore is that the people who are put in these submarines are like prisoners or something, and they're being put in these submarines and they've been promised, like, if you complete these tasks of like taking these photographs of these landmarks, identifying what this ocean's about, then you'll be released. But the whole thing about this game is that you're never free, because at the end of the game, spoiler alert, that there's a giant alien fish thing that comes bursting out of the end of the ship and you die. how is Mark going to extend on this? It would be very cool if there's some backstory, but if he's doing exactly what the game did with looking around at these landmarks to the ending, which is very tragic with the fish, how is he trying to avoid that sad end, or how is he going to make this a bit more fulfilling? But man, I just have to listen to this again because the audio is amazing. I don't know, it's very fascinating. Out of all the scary games that Mark's played, even when watching his gameplay of it, he did say that it was very atmospheric and scary, and he's obviously afraid of the ocean. He's definitely afraid. What was this appeal out of all the other games? I could definitely see the appeal from the different aspects that the game brought to players. Out of everything that he's played, why adapt this into a movie? It's just a strange thought, and he'll probably explain it further on into future videos now that it's announced. I also love the detail with this title that it just sinks into this redness, which is obviously the ocean of blood. Okay, I will like that, and let's have a look at these description. The first trailer for the Iron Lung movie coming soon. This film is based off the 2022 horror game by David Okay, how do you pronounce that?
Szymański.
David Szymański is the creator of the game. But let's have a look at these comments down here. Imagine being the developer. How thrilled they must have been to have Mark take such an interest in their horror concept. What a collaborative effort this is going to be. The concept of this game is very unique, going in blind into a dark abyss, trying to gain a sense of direction with limited resources at your disposal as mysterious monsters are lurking around at the dark waters around you. Can't wait to see how Mark and the crew expand this indie horror games universe. Hype. Yeah, because that's the thing. Other than a couple of notes that kind of describe the backstory of the world where, I guess this isn't too much spoilers because I did spoil the end of the game. But the essential backstory is that all of the planets that we've populated, like Earth and all the other ones that we've colonized, they suddenly disappear from like the galaxy, the universe, and the solar system or whatever. So all the people that are on spaceships and space stations and all those places, they're the only ones that have survived. So they're trying to bring humanity back together from this mysterious like disappearance of all the colonized worlds, which is very strange. But then there's also this other element of random moons that are popping up with little oceans of blood and weird structures in them and weird alien fish. Like I was saying before, as Mark said that he was doing stunts, or he had a stunt coordinator, or stunts were done on set. You can't really do that in a confined space like this, unless you were doing the last scene that I was talking about. There was probably some backstory with the character. He was in a prison, or how he became a prisoner, or what crimes he committed, or this is some type of element that just sets up the world around him that isn't just confined to this submarine. Okay, I think this comment right here perfectly describes what I'm thinking right now. That game is incredible to see it adapted into a film, is honest so hype. What I love about the game has a lot of the same reasons why I love the first Saw movie. It revolved entirely around one location. It focused on minimal characters, the pacing is neither too fast or too slow, the horror is focused on the tension. Its quietest moments are unnerving, you don't know when something is going to happen next, the terrors that you do witness are incredibly subtle and unknown. Everything in the game relies on the audience or player's own imagination. Yeah, you get some very scary stuff, but it's built up in these moments where you're isolated in a chamber where you don't know what's going on outside, no idea if you're doing the right things. This will be great and I cannot wait to see. It's also hilarious how this is a game where you're submerged in a submarine at the bottom of a mysterious ocean, and Mark's number one fear is oceans and the extreme depth, which is just so hilarious. But maybe this is a way of him trying to fight his fear or something, I don't know. It's just very ironic that he decided to pick this game to adapt. Alright, that's a lot to unpack there. It's not a lot to look at, but just the fact that it's Iron Lung. Out of everything, it's Iron Lung. That is amazing, and honestly, I cannot wait to watch it. I'm not a big fan of horror, but I'm interested to see the approach that Mark does with this story and working with this guy, the actual creator, David Szymański. Honestly, I can't wait to see Mark challenge the film industry even more, going from a date with Markiplier, a heist of Markiplier, in space of Markiplier, and now Iron Lung. This is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to see this. And if you enjoyed my little reaction and breakdown in this video, leave a like, and if you like it even more, why don't you share it with your friends and family, because they might like it as well. But again, that's enough from me. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and until the next video that comes out, which probably comes out in a week, peace out. lung. Man, this is gonna be insane.